just a little fun fact, G5 can be a bit temperamental. G5 doesn't like Safari, which is my preferred browser, so I am using Chrome to show you G5. And if you go to g5.gov, it will bring you to the screen. I know there's been some confusion because at one point we were told to log in through G6. G6 is not currently functioning. You should just be going directly to g5.gov and it will take you to this landing page. Now, only the PIs will have access to log into G5. So if you are not the PI, you likely will not have access. It really is only given to the PI of record on the project. So first I will click continue to G5. Here we go. Here's my password. Log into G5. Now there's a two-factor authentication process. So hopefully you've all already set this up. You should have set up your G5 account when you received your grant to receive your grant awardification notice. So hopefully you already have this in place. So I select the text option because that's how I get my secondary passcode. And it's going to send a passcode directly to my telephone. And then I'm going to enter it. So the way I find my grant submission reports once I'm logged into G5 is I go to grant maintenance and then package submission. You probably went to this button before to see your award document when you got your notification. When you're doing your APR, it's going to be the package submission option. So I will click on package submission. Now mine probably looks a little different than yours because I have quite a few grants, but for the example today, I'm going to click on my 325M grant, which is my newest one that's in its first year. So after you select the grant, if you have more than one, you hit continue. And then when you're starting, if you have not yet started entering your report into G5, when you click on your grant, it should show a box very similar to this. You need to select your project and click initiate. Now, once you've hit initiate, it will bring you to the screen of all the different sections that need to be completed. So I'm just going to go through them one by one so you can see them. You always have to select, and when you're working on editing the form, you want to click on edit form. So the first one here is the signed cover sheet. All that happens here is you will upload the signed copy signed by your business office or your grants office that has that cover sheet where you would enter the total amount that's been spent this year, as well as the other details of the grant. You would upload that file, and remember the file needs to be a PDF. And then after you've uploaded it, you would click form complete. Since I haven't clicked form complete, I'm not going to click that. And then you would save and return to package. I'm just going to cancel since I didn't actually submit anything there. This next one, project narrative, this actually, if you click on it there, is an optional attachment. I don't have anything optional or additional I'm adding for my grants, so I would just click form complete and save and return to project. The next one is the we did the signed cover sheet, the grant performance report cover sheet. So this can be a bit confusing because what this is an area where you manually enter the same information that you already uploaded from your signed cover sheet. So you're going to look at the information that your business office provided on your signed cover sheet, and you're going to enter all of that same information yourself manually. There's no place there for the signature because this is you entering it manually. But what's really important to know is at the bottom here is where you're going to upload your executive summary. So that executive summary piece that Don showed you some examples of, once that's complete, you're going to upload that here. And again, must be in PDF. So if you've completed it in Word, you need to save as PDF. You would upload that file here, form complete, save and return to package. Next is your project status chart. This is the one that's the table format where you talk about each of your measures and goals. So this all has to be entered manually. This is not an upload. So I highly recommend you complete this first offline in a Word document and then copy and paste because G5 can be a bit temperamental. So you always want to have everything saved someplace else. So in the project objective box, you would write in the first objective of your project. So for example, for the project I'm referring to here, our first objective is to recruit 20 scholars. So we would put the project objective, and then each performance measure we list would be a sub of objective 1. So it would be 1A, I would enter whatever that performance measure is. The measure type that you're going to be selecting is either program or project. All of those required project performance measures, the ones that were given across all projects, those are going to be program measures. If they're ones unique to your project that align with the program measure, for example, 60% of syllabi will have evidence-based practices, ones that are unique to your project are going to be project objectives. So you would drop down and choose either program or project. Then you have the choice between either entering a raw number as your data or entering a ratio, which would automatically be converted to a percent. You're not going to enter both. Keep in mind that if it's a goal you should not have met yet, as Don said, you would enter 999. Like if there was by year 5, the project will be fully accredited by the National Accreditation Agency. You're not in year 5. Your target would be 999. Your actual would be 999 as well. G5 does not allow you to enter 0. So if you try to enter a 0 anywhere, it's going to show up as an error. You can enter a 0 like if it's the number 10, but not a 0 standalone. Then you need to enter 999. So for every time you need to add another performance measure, you would click Add Performance Measure. So you would have 1.A, 1.B, and you would do the same thing for each. If you have more than one objective, which most of you probably do, the way you get to your performance measures around your second objective or third objective is add another project objective. I'm not yet, well, let me do it probably because I didn't actually enter anything on this one, but that's what you would do after you have your data. And you would do that until you have a sheet like this for each objective. And then finally, sections B and C. Section B refers to your budget. So here you would upload a PDF file of a table of the funds that you've spent this year, what you would expect to spend by the end of your actual grant year, which probably ends September 30th, and how much money is being carried over, with a narrative describing what you've spent money on and making a rationale for carrying over any unused funds. Section C is additional information. Sometimes there's specific things asked for. For example, if you had students, scholars being funded, it might want information about scholars. If you've made any significant changes to your projects, like changed one of the PIs or changed a partnering institution, you would attach that under additional information. If you have nothing to say, that's fine. You would upload a PDF that says section C and A. You can't leave it blank and you can't leave it out. So if you have nothing to say, you can, because this is not an optional section, you can just prepare a document that says section C and A and upload it in this place. Those are all of the required parts for your G5 submission. Once you have everything submitted, you would actually click on continue. And here's where you certify that everything is accurate. Now, this is a bit confusing because the same way the cover page and when you submit a grant, you're not supposed to be the one to sign off. It's supposed to be your budget office. You're attesting that you are signing off on behalf of the university, and you see here, this is not my name. This is the name of my vice president for research. However, your research office doesn't have access to G5. You do. So the way I handle this at FIU is I send a draft of every report to my research office. They review it, and then they give me permission to sign off in G5 on their behalf. So when you have all of that completed, and only when everything is completed, then you push this submit button. Now, if Tracy wanted to see your reports before you submitted them, then definitely don't push submit until Tracy has also said that you're good to go. If you want to practice in G5 and start uploading things just to start getting things uploaded and get the hang of it, that's fine. But hold off on submitting till you know Tracy's good with what you have, your research office is good with what you have, and that you've got everything, all the ducks in a row. And only then should you click that submit button.